Okay. Choose who can participate. We'll read that stuff later. But right now we're live, right? So it looks like I'm live, 14 seconds in. So thank you if you're coming up under the sound of my voice. I want you to get 90K in 90 days. So it's a lot that goes into that, right? A lot of people just totally do not understand why you're not being approved. So I lost it all and I was worst case scenario. So I had to do it from scratch. That's why I'm privy to a lot of information that a lot of people in my field are not, right? Another thing, I had to come up with my own blueprint. So it wasn't like I literally like followed someone and then do it, because what happened when I was to the point where I was ready to go into business with this thing, a lot of people just weren't really accommodating with how their business was run. And that's okay, because it was the biggest blessing to me. And it's also the biggest blessing to you, because we now get to, I now get to share some of those secrets with you, right? So I come up with a simple formula and a simple process, right? 90K in 90 days is really an understatement. I'm also getting to the point where my team has also come up with advanced tactics that we are now getting bankruptcies and charge-offs in days, in less than a week. Like for real. So at this point, it really isn't any excuse why you're not being funded. And if you're coming up under the sound of my voice, the question is, why do you want business credit and funding? That's equally more important than just being in a desperate situation. Because we need to have a clear intention. At the end of the day, yes, you're being provided a second chance. That's how you need to look at this. I was provided a second chance when I lost it all and was so broke that I couldn't afford a bankruptcy attorney, right? I was provided a second chance. And here's how I choose to show gratitude and thanks for that opportunity. So I learned, I conquered my situation, which was bankruptcy, flat broke, driving Uber, and near homelessness, to sharing it with thousands. So I shouted to the rooftops to as many people as I possibly can. Because what I'm doing, whether you move right now or not, I am planting a seed. And if you're listening to me and you follow my channel, my question to you is why? Why do you want business credit and funding? What are you going to do with it? What do we do when we get $100,000? Do we have a plan for it? Because what I learned early on when I started funding people, my whole MO was, let me get them as much money as I possibly can. So I funded 3 people, then I funded 7 people. Then it got to the point where there was a pattern. They were like, well, now what do we do now? What next? Right? So I was presenting them with a new problem. Here it is, people with a bunch of money, with no financial literacy, with no idea what their next move is. Here's what I would say. Definitely get yourself out of your current situation if it's negative items on your personal credit profile, right? But also move with someone that's not only going to get you the money, but we're going to come up with a plan that's going to take that 6 figures in funding and turn it into 8 figures. You need a mentor. I don't care, at every phase. You, especially aspiring entrepreneurs, old entrepreneurs, seasoned entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, all business owners in every aspect of business should always have a mentor or 2 or 3. That's the secret. Okay? So your why cannot come into fruition without help. Okay? I learned a lot about myself when I took that business to up to $300,000 a year. My short-term rental business. I learned I was greedy. I learned I was arrogant. I learned I really wasn't an entrepreneur. I wasn't locked in to my community. That's how the competition was able to come in on me, y'all. So I'm killing it. I had 14 units in Chicago and California, and I had 8 units. Well, a total of 8 doors of long-term renters. I thought I was doing it. Here's where I messed up at. All my friends, they were like 5-figure earners a year. They were making $50,000 a year. I was not around people that were making 6-7 figures a year. That was my first mistake. My environment. Number 2, I stopped my learning. I learned a strategy and I just ran with it. I did nothing to hone my craft. I was so unaware that REITs and hedge funds were getting into the short-term rental game. I was somewhere on an island and I had my business on autopilot. Mistake number 3. You need to be involved in every aspect of your business. I had to learn that the hard way. So when the competition came in, Saunders, look them up. They're still killing it. They came into our markets and they did to me and other professional hosts. I wasn't the only one impacted. They did to me and other professional hosts what Walmart did to Kmart. They came in and they undercut the prices so low that we couldn't compete. Here it is, I'm charging $350 a night, but that had to happen because I was doing a lease arbitrage method, right? So the apartments I was renting out were $2,400, $2,800. The minimum was like $1,800 a month. So in order for me to see a good profit, I had no other choice. But really, at the end of the day, in Chicago, that was the going rate. Hotels, downtown Chicago, they were charging $300-$400 a night. Saunders came in with a marketing plan, with a budget, a big fat budget because they were a REIT with funding, with a system, and they killed us. I literally went months without bookings. And I was dead. That was mistake number 3 for me. So I learned a lot about myself. I went into a depression, right? Didn't know what I was going to do. One day I just finally got sick of it. I accepted my condition from the guy. He kept knocking on my door. I'm literally hiding from him, turning off the lights, turning off the TV. Because see, you have to understand, I was able to evade the evictor. I became the evictee, and I used to be the evictor. Because I knew landlord-tenant law like the back of my hand in Chicago, right? I was a landlord at this point over 10 years. I accepted my condition, scrolling on the internet, just like some of you, came across my mentor who gave me an opportunity. And he was like, hey, we could get rid of evictions, child support, bankruptcy. I'm like, I got a bankruptcy. You can get rid of bankruptcy? Joined his program, locked in for 5 months. But let me tell you something. I didn't have the $3,500. I was driving Uber at the time in a new town, didn't know anyone. I drove Uber because I didn't want the fee to go back up to $5,000. I called and used my negotiating skills with the guy. I was like, look, I know today is the last day for the deal, but I don't have it. I said, but give me 2 weeks, I can get it. I drove Uber for a week. He was like, I don't have 2 weeks. I could hold 7 days. Drove Uber for a week like a mad lady. Got that $3,500. Okay? Changed my life. It was the best decision I could have ever made. Not only did I get rid of my bankruptcy, I went on to fund myself initially. To date, I've gotten millions in credits and properties and all sorts of things with my credit profile. But initially went out and got $300,000 in business credit and funding. I cried. So I'm here to tell you something that I know to be true. So I don't sit here and tell you, oh, I think this will happen. We're not talking in theory. Oh, maybe this will happen. I'm not 100% sure. No, the reason I can speak with such conviction is because I've done it. So I'm telling you and talking and speaking to you about something that I know. okay? 90K in 90 days is very, very easy. But here's what I would like to offer you. Anyone coming up under the sound of my video, your karma is in balance, okay? I'm taking a certain amount of people, capping it at 5, all right? I want to take you on a journey that will walk you through building out your LLC from scratch for funding for a minimum of $100,000. Personal credit profiles, issues, credit challenges, no problem. High credit card utilization issues, no problem. I gotcha. All right? All I need for you to do is click this link that is attached to this video. Book a call, a business funding readiness call. Let's see where you are and let's get funded. All right? Also, comment the word bank. I will be monitoring this and I am going to personally call you. All right? Once you get screened by my team, I'm going to personally call you. My New Year's resolution and my goal for this year is massive. My goal is to help 1,000 people get $250,000. Because what I now know is I went through what I went through so that you don't have to go through it. So that you don't go through what I went through. I created a blueprint, a step-by-step system that will not only take you from negative items and zero money to a minimum of $100,000 in business credit and funding. I've done it over and over and over again. Okay? So I want you to ask yourself, why am I here? Why do I follow her? When am I going to take action? When am I going to be the next testimonial? That's the question. So type the word bank, click the link below, schedule a call with my team. What's up, Betty? You don't see the link? I think it's in the description. If you do not see the link, I think once I save it, it'll be in the description of the video. But if you do not see it, Betty, you can always go to my Instagram, okay? The link is there. It's the Business Funding Readiness Call. But the link is also here on this channel, okay? I'm looking forward to helping you get funded. Thank you for listening to me, guys. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I love you. Be amazing. Be great. Take action.